A routine flying lesson turned into unthinkable tragedy when a helicopter plummeted from the sky on the Isle of Wight, claiming 3 lives and leaving one person fighting for survival in critical condition. But here's where it gets controversial. Should we be questioning the safety protocols surrounding flight training operations, especially during peak tourist seasons? The devastating incident unfolded yesterday morning around 0920 BST when a Robinson R44 II helicopter, operated by Northumbria Helicopters, crashed violently into a field adjacent to the A3020 near Shanklin. What was supposed to be an educational flight experience became a nightmare scenario that has left an entire community reeling. According to Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary, all 4 individuals aboard the aircraft were involved in what officials describe as a training flight that had departed from Sandown Airport approximately 20 minutes before the fatal crash occurred. The timing couldn't have been more tragic. The helicopter had been airborne for less than half an hour when disaster struck. Witness testimony paints a chilling picture of the aircraft's final moments. Lee Goldsmith, who was driving towards Shanklin when the incident occurred, provided a haunting account to the Isle of Wight County press. She described watching helplessly as the helicopter began spiraling through the air before disappearing from view and ultimately coming to rest in a hedgerow. As the first person to reach the crash site, Goldsmith confirmed that 4 people were on board the doomed aircraft. And this is the part most people miss. The pilot's final actions may have prevented an even greater catastrophe. Despite facing what must have been terrifying circumstances, the aviator managed to bring the helicopter down in a rural area, away from populated neighborhoods and busy roads. Shanklin Town Council specifically acknowledged this heroic effort in their official statement, praising the pilot for steering clear of built-up areas during the aircraft's final descent. Emergency response teams mobilized immediately, with Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary declaring a major incident at approximately 0950 BST to coordinate rescue efforts. The sole survivor was rushed via air ambulance to University Hospital Southampton's major trauma center, where they remain in serious condition, fighting for their life. The timing of this tragedy raises uncomfortable questions about aviation safety during high-traffic periods. The crash occurred during a particularly busy bank holiday weekend on the Isle of Wight, coinciding with major events including the popular Isle of Wight scooter rally at Sandown Airport, the very location from which the ill-fated flight originated. Thousands of vintage scooter enthusiasts had gathered for the event, creating unusually heady air and ground traffic in the area. BDC reporter Anjana Gadgil described the crash site as a rural location characterized by narrow, winding roads lined with tall hedges on both sides. Authorities have cordoned off not just the immediate crash area, but also the network of bridleways and footpaths that crisscross the surrounding fields and hillside, a testament to the extensive investigation now underway. Conservative MP Joe Robertson, representing the Isle of Wight East constituency, characterized the incident as an absolute tragedy and noted that the local community stands ready to support the affected families during this incredibly difficult time. He has urged the public to respect the crash site and avoid the area while investigators conduct their work. The Air Accidents Investigation Branch has already deployed a specialized team to examine the wreckage and reconstruct the events leading up to the crash. However, police have made it clear they will not be commenting on the specific circumstances surrounding the incident while the investigation remains active. A spokesperson for Northumbria Helicopters confirmed that their aircraft, registered as GOCLV, had departed Sandown Airport at approximately 9 AM BST, carrying 4 people, including the pilot, for what was described as a routine flying lesson. But here's what's really troubling. This incident highlights broader questions about the regulation and oversight of flight training operations. Should flying lessons be suspended during major events when air traffic is heightened? Are current safety protocols adequate for training flights in busy airspace? The Hampshire and Isle of Wight Air Ambulance Service, which responded to the emergency, expressed their thoughts for everyone involved in the tragic incident while confirming their role in transporting the survivor to the trauma center. As investigators work to piece together exactly what went wrong, the aviation community and the public are left grappling with difficult questions about flight safety, training protocols, and risk management. The families of the 3 victims now face unimaginable grief, while one person continues their fight for survival in a hospital bed. What do you think? Should flight training operations face stricter regulations during high-traffic periods? Are we doing enough to ensure the safety of both students and instructors during aviation training? The answers to these questions could determine whether similar tragedies can be prevented in the future. Share your thoughts. Do you believe current aviation safety standards are sufficient? Or is it time for more stringent oversight of flight training operations?